15-7, and it was unable to be closed out by G2 in the previous map. Even though you guys said it, it didn't really register in my head until I just read the tweets from the French. Got to be frustrating, but there's one more map to come, and they are professionals. They do this all the time. Won't be the first time they have not closed something out when they felt like they should have. So hopefully that experience will help them weather the storm and just have a renewed focus moving into Overpass. I love me some Overpass. Do we expect a G2 victory here?
Oh, it's a tough one. I mean, it's a great map for FaZe,
Yeah.
Meister or no. So I would definitely lean towards FaZe, especially after what we just saw. Nico looks amazing. Rain having a really good time too. Two very key players on the map. Guardian's looking great. Like I feel like it's definitely looking good for FaZe.
Yeah, it should. It seems like this is like FaZe's best map at one point, right? Premier map. This is what made the Cloud9 storyline so amazing. You know, the fact that they took Overpass, which is a map there was no way they could beat them on it. And then they've been teetering in results. Nico tweeted he just doesn't want Overpass in the map pool anymore. You know, suddenly they don't like it for some reason, whether that's other teams. But then you still have Rain, who's maybe the most important player on the map, is also maybe his best map, and playing at forward 8 position so strong. It's like maybe they're good at it but don't like it for different reasons. It's hard to say. It should be their map, though. It is definitely like maybe the map they were best at just a month ago.
For G2 though, I felt like they were limited with Shox' calling style before. I felt like it was kind of predictable and formulaic, and there's just a lot of repeated mistakes back when Shox was calling for G2 in my opinion. So I feel like MBK could turn things around there on the T side at least. So I'm curious to see how that looks.
G2 willing to face the monster position. Nobody moving aggressive around Fountain on their CT side, as we have notoriously seen from the likes of Shox before. So indeed a different approach from G2 here on this pistol. 3 players in B. Apex spotting a departing player, and that will cause a CT rotation towards A. There is a minute on 20 on the clock here for FaZe, however, so they can still consider their options, although they may not feel that way with no eyes towards the B bomb site. Body and Apex at the back of B. Meanwhile, their teammates, oh no, the rotation is on while they see players towards A. Players made it close to the pop flash, but no kills for FaZe. It's a 1 versus 5 now for Guardian with a P250. Nothing doing. G2 off to a good start. That's the start they need after the proceedings of the previous map for sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it wasn't a fierce start in the first map. And even though it wasn't, they actually, yeah, they got that. FaZe got the 5-0 start, and then G2 somehow made it 15-7 or 14-7. That is actually unreal, just to look back at that.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah. So it gets a little bit cramped at A sometimes when you're rotating everybody onto the site, but everybody who's sitting there delivered, so that pistol could have gone the other way. But it didn't. We don't know. We don't exist in that reality. We exist in this one where G2 won it and won it cleanly.
The G2 dimension, perhaps. We'll see. Off to a reasonable start. Might call it good when more players have been taken down. MBK, very good economical use of his final bullets there. Not a single player lost. And there are 0 kills for FaZe so far. It is very rare that you see well, let's see if it gets to round number 4, I was going to say, but it's round number 3 right now. So if there are no kills in this round, it's going to be one of those perfect, absolutely perfect starts for the CT side, which is extremely rare.
You never see that. I mean, ever kill again. Like, you know, $300.
I'd love to see that statistic. What percentage of matches start with the round number 4 with 0 kills for one team?
With the force buy as well. So let's say they don't get any kills here. I want to know how many nades can they buy? Can they buy any nades? Normally that eats a smoke grenade off of a player or a flash. Or the ability to get full armor. So maybe we'll find out.
We will see. MBK will take up his teammate's place, but he is facing a hail of bullets, so unfortunately he has ruined our statistics. I hope you feel happy with that, MBK. See, there's a boost behind the smoke from Rain and Nico. And there we go, the cavalry is here. All right, I'm tweeting Peta. What percentage of matches start 3-0 to a team with 0 kills on one team?
Maybe they didn't. Did they actually force on the second round? I thought I saw someone with armor, but maybe they didn't spend all their money. They seem to be doing all right. 4-0. AK throws a defensive Molotov down on the stairs. The double monster push is actually good. Exist is going to be tilted. This is an angle that he should win the fight against anybody almost every time.
His gun has been stolen. He's been pillaged. He's been robbed. They took his chain. His chain got tooken. That's what they say in the streets.
Tooken.
I've been there. I've been in the streets.
You from the streets, James?
I was in a street on my way to the office.
That's just a regular. That's not the slang streets.
Also true.
These are very nice streets, James.
These streets are lovely. These streets are close to the beach. Almost rhymes. 5-on-3. Mixwell tries to hold the B-bomb site. Has a flash from his teammate there. Great support. You can see him gelling well with body on B.
It seemed like he almost went to flash for himself, and body was like, "No, I got you, bro," and like threw one over his head.
NBK looking for information, and that might be a window for Nico. He sees the grenades being deployed. He knows where one player is. He uses an object to hide from Kenny S while he looks for another rotating player. Now we just ride with Nico as his brain continues to work. Bomb getting planted on Optimus. CT on the stairs, CT in the bank position, and a CT from Connector. How long does Carrigan hold this angle for? Apex may wait for action to happen towards the A bomb site, but that's the wrong kind of action. It does, however, pull Carrigan away. But Rain will take him down instead. That leaves body with the FAMAS. Now the USP. Got time for a reload. He has a kit. Going for the gun, but that will expose him to Carrigan, who will finish off the job. First round on the board for FaZe.
A round they probably should not have won if not for Nico taking this really nice. Oh man, that was a 3v5 round. They had one player caught on the push. Kenny S going down on A, and then Nico pushing to the CT as well. What a masterclass performance from Nico. You can always count on him for rounds like that every once in a while, especially when you need him. Kenny lucky to not taking a full run to that nade.
You hate to see it.
Yikes.
You hate to see it.
He was dead silent too. Just really good timing for Rain.
Experience. Mental prowess. FaZe looking to execute into the B-bomb site. There's a Molotov flying towards the barrels, and Body doesn't have time to mess around with grenades. He's going to die in these flames. There he goes. 4 versus 2, and I'm not sure that there's much more for G2 to do in this round, apart from die. Now, Kenny may be hiding in plain sight here. He could take a shot and then choose to back off. Or even fake the camera. There's only one person on the B-bomb site. Will you expect him to have hunted him? Is there a window to try and steal a kill? Or again, is he just going to continue to hide in this position? Carrigan by the barrels, and it seems he'll go to Graffiti to save, I would assume.
So he might get peeked. How? Oh, is he safe here? Okay.
Yeah, he's got full health. He's plenty safe here.
Plenty safe.
He's further away than you would be if you were a car on Dust 2 and it was planted on default. And you can save there.
Oh, that's a...
I actually did a video.
That makes sense.
Of like the closest and best positioned plant spots on a few maps.
That's awesome.
A long time ago. I forgot about that series. I should continue it.
A lot of people don't know about that one on A site, where you can just stand up at the top of the stairs and be fine. Only take 40 damage or something. Important stuff to know. Just like Kenny realizing that he can abuse this Molotov. That was nice.
Very nice indeed. Nobody deep enough in the connector to do anything about it. Apex trying to pop off with the Desert Eagle. But on this occasion, he will be unsuccessful. Mixwell is in from the back though, and the FaZe plays have not advanced too much, but Carrigan, his awareness will be perfectly timed. Kenny with AWP is dead. And Body has collected it. Maybe spotted by Nico. So perhaps there is opportunity. Does Body try and rotate towards the B bomb site? No, he sticks on A. See where the bomb chooses to go now. Lots of gambling to be done. Does Body try to make a play and cut somebody off or try and save? Guardian has secured connector, which will make it easier to hunt Body later on if they choose to do that. I'm sure Guardian will be hungry to take that sniper rifle away.
Body will be happy to do what... Oh, they heard him running away, so whoever was trailing behind him has also just started chasing at full speed. That's Guardian, and he won't actually have time to recover the op, it doesn't seem like. But that won't matter.
(3-3). A buy for both sides. Kenny is naked with the AWP. He's a nudist. I noticed that dude, the white guy from Run the Jewels, says the word nudist a lot.
Does he?
On one particular album. It's really weird.
The new one?
Moving through the monster position. This is absolute carnage. Mixel managed to swing his mouse all the way around. Gets a third kill as well. Body deploying some grenades. Mixel, what a performance from him. Must have a low sense. You see him really dragging the mouse along during that spray. The third of the burst was sublime. Guardian to reload will expose his position, and the player behind the door, depending on his distance, NBK could have chosen to open the door and punish the reload, but the risk was not unnecessary.
The last 3 times I've seen FaZe call this strat, or Carry call this strat, they've just gotten decimated. As all the counter grenades, perfect positions to defend, and you wonder why they thought that the B rush was the right idea. Well, last time I was at Marseille, they did it versus Cloud9 in the final round of the game after coming back like 8 rounds in a row.
Marseille.
Marseille.
You can say Marseille.
Okay. But the monster tunnel rush through the smoke, looking like 2015 Overpass.
Apex on a journey. Trivia, you can shoot that swing all the way over for a full revolution, but it takes ages. It's time that I have on my hands to do this kind of nonsense. Trades run a short B position. Has the bomb been spotted? NBK flanking now. Savage aggression from G2. Can they slow them down, however? Apparently not. Kenny has taken down on the site. An uncomfortable position for him. Mixol will be traded. Now there's Apex from short B, and NBK is still a ways behind. So we weren't expecting that, and now once NBK is closer, Apex can try and draw distraction. It may cost him his life. Left to rely on NBK to do the rest. And there it is. 5-3 for G2.
I was going to say now it's going to be a much longer round. But the amount of life left over, wasn't too many options for Guardian. And I think he also wasn't aware of where the last person was either. But it's 5-3. G2 know that FaZe are poor. Picked up an MP9. FaZe are not going to force up, get half armor, or even invest in utility. Instead, Rain just has a little extra. He spends it, and the rest of them are just going to be running up long. I feel like they could have justified one flash at least for this situation.
Targets. Many of them. Look at the rifle support. They may think they've got jump on Kenny, but they don't, because NBK is well prepared. He sees the shadow. The pre-fire continues. And only Kenny will be lost. AK is collected. Sorry, AWP is collected at a cost of an M4. Saw the first player there not pick it up because he had the AK-47. Attention to detail, always good. Presence of mind.
Mindfulness. Awareness.
Is Mixor going to play with the MP9 here? It's a cost-effective option. And if they get into position with their grenades, then most of his engagements, there's a fair chance will be close quarters, so the MP9 might be fine. Does run out of bullets pretty quickly though, has a fast rate of fire. Ooh. The push from Monster.
They're pulling their round 3 strat, and Exist isn't here to watch it either. So the round plays out a little bit differently, but still way in the favor of Gifu, whether or not they get the kill, because as we can see, rotates have been assisted out of the site. They do have to worry about stairs, so I imagine they'll keep someone at least heaven or something. That, or they're just going to gamble, because they don't think that Faze will execute with that monster control.
Oh, I like the idea, and it yields a team kill at the very least, so Mixwell does get a kill out of it one way or another. Might not be credited with it, but it's all good. Trade frags at the front of the site. Smoke's bouncing down. Nico taken out. That leaves Guardian alone, not for long. He will join his teammates in the afterlife. Not quite Valhalla, not yet. 7-3 in favor of G2. Average of $3,000 for Faze. The play was glorious.
Yeah.
The play was awesome. But at that point, even blind, Faze have enough to know where to shoot. They know where the line is.
It's a good opportunity to both use the MP9, but use it in a tactical way, and also just make it a nice close fight.
2 AKs on the French side, on the CT side. Meanwhile, Faze pistols once again. Exist 1 for 10 at the moment. Guardian wasn't doing much better. 4 for 9, not quite spectacular. No one's doing good at the moment for Faze Clan. Apex 11 for 3. Apex has had a good day so far. Even though they're 0 for 3, some of these players have had standout performances. NBK and Kenny racing for the kills around the A site.
They have been doing a good job. I think we've noticed this, like some of these eco rounds, like they're not even getting into the site to get the bomb down. So that's got to be hurting their economy as well. I don't know how many bomb plants they've had actually.
I took a swig of espresso and my elbow started aching.
I don't know if those are related.
How lame is that?
I'm not sure those are related.
RSI.
Oh, I see. Picking it up.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. I thought it was like, you know, like a bad knee weather or something. Or bad weather knee.
I love this from G2. Constant aggression, and Exist is just hating life. He's hating life!
Yeah, he's getting abused whether or not he's there. He's getting killed when he's there, big flanked when he's not.
Nico running. Despite you not hearing his footsteps, he definitely is running up that long position. Maybe they're tilted. Easy frag for NBK. Or maybe it's because of the flank. They're trying to move forward. It's like the longer we wait, the tighter the net will be. They're just getting picked apart. They're getting picked to pieces. The legs being pulled off the spider. It's nasty.
That's gross, yeah.
You hate to see it. Now we've got 4 AKs on the CT side. What can one do?
That's rough stuff. Very passive position. And I mean, if you're getting... If you're getting flanked that hard, if they go and pick it up, they get the kills. But FaZe decided, let's just work on A slowly. Like, let's ignore the fact that Exist got double pushed outside B. Let's let them push for 20 more seconds. Let's hang out here in the middle of 2 guys. It just doesn't really make sense why they would wait like that. They could have tried to, I think like we pointed out in one of the previous rounds, go down the stairs, because if the CTs decide to rotate out and they don't have short control, they go through CT spawn, then they still have to worry about like stairs to short B to B.
I think if you have a sniper pushing like that, he has to. Well, he doesn't necessarily have to. Depends on the personality of the team. But I think in many cases the AWP is going to have rifle support, and then, excuse me, and then the question becomes where is the hole in the defenses? But it is a guessing game, and that comes with its own risk. So although hesitation in that situation is also a risk. Boost at the back of B now. So from rampant aggression, they've conditioned FaZe to, well, they've put the whole team here now. It is a pistol round, of course, but G2 looking well prepared for this. Avoiding the first, or trying to avoid the first flash, is Kenny, spotting a lot of people spreading all over. They've taken the CT water, and now it's retake time for G2. Whether the bomb goes down or not, the site must be retaken. The bomb is planted, and they will spray. FaZe running all over the place. 1 kill for FaZe so far. Maybe a gun can be retrieved. Nico, how long will he last? The knife! That could lose them the round. He's still alive, and now he's dead. Psychological warfare on Overpass.
That was close. The setup was pretty good from G2. They got all that information at A, I think, and they had the 2 players at B playing in a kind of a retake position. Kenny made sure to get the first kill, so they have a big chance to nail down or lock down the retake. Only trouble was not pushing too far, but I like that they were disciplined and didn't push past a certain point just to make sure that nobody was going to come back to them, that it wasn't some kind of fake. And overall, it just seemed very, very like a safe and sustainable way to play an anti-eco from G2.
Oh, 3 targets. I'm not sure if they would have walked them up. One was quite to the right, but we'll see what can be done. Guardian looking for a boost. If somebody was on short B, they would definitely see hit the barrel of his gun. Looking for the jump now. Risks must be taken. Mixwell's not far from peeking that angle, but he's not peeking it from the short B position, as you can see. Otherwise, Guardian may have fallen down there. Exist spotted, and he has got his 3rd kill of the half. 3 rounds for FaZe. Looking for their 4th, and again, body starts to push. Guardian expectant now due to their disobedience. The one tap from NBK trying to rotate. Ooh. This might not bode well for the G2 side. Apex rotating down the CT stairs, if you will. And Exist says no. I'm sure the money is there for G2 to try and take down as many players as possible at the very least. Indeed, they've got their falling over cash. MBK is being flanked, but Guardian will be enough to finish things off for round number 4 for FaZe. And if they can get 5 rounds out of this, then by no means will we count them out. You never can. They came back from a 15-7 on the previous map.
Yeah, confidence is going to be, they're going to be teaming with confidence.
They demand respect.
It'd still be a tall task, but it is really their CT side. Their CT side is what their Overpass is all about. So I would be scared about G2. Let's make this level 4.
A trio of sniper rifles are out for the G2 side. This will limit their positional aggression, if you will. Or maybe it won't. Maybe even if it doesn't make sense, they'll do it anyway just to try and trigger their opponents. Mixwell with the automatic plays. Penetration kill. Lovely stuff from him. Just has position. We'll see what Body does to retake it. Smoke grenade will do. In the meantime, we've got Rain moving into a short B position. Exist getting blown into oblivion. He's not having a great T-half. Got to have the mental fortitude to survive all this stuff. 2 plays remain for FaZe. 2 versus 4 now. Rain with an opening frag and closing kill for Apex. That might be curtains in this half for FaZe. Nico 1 versus 4. Venting his frustrations with his mouse movements. Well, I guess I've got to kill everyone. Memories of mouse sports.
I can hear that breath into the mic. So vividly.
30 seconds. Not going to make a play through the smoke, and Apex is standing in the middle of that smoke, so there may be a flank as well. 19 seconds. The bomb is... Does he assume 2 people towards A? 12 seconds. Put out of their misery by Apex in that last round. 11-4 for G2. Solid stuff.
Couldn't really have gone much better. I mean, the phase of the rounds that they won, they fought hard on. They looked solid. So this is a very successful half. I mean, no matter how you look at it. G2, I think, also after last map. I mean, I feel like they tried their hardest on the last map too, and they still lost. But they aren't going to think that this is going to be handed to them by any means. 5 armor, 5 for FaZe. All the CTs, no, that means no kit. It's becoming common to do this. Oh, this is my favorite pistol. So you use your best spawn at A to go and peek there. And anyone crossing to long will get spotted. Fully rotates back, but you play 4B just in case it's a monster rush, which is too strong for 2 or 3 people sometimes.
Nice. Charging forward are G2. Maybe clearing the toilets, or at least their half of them. Now, Exist will have a lot to do, as will Nico. The flash is there, and Exist is completely blind. Too many targets for him. Nico will try to deliver. He'll get 2 out of it. Gives the team a fighting chance. Carrigan compounding the problems for G2, and FaZe are good for this pistol. There it is, round number 5 for FaZe. That is the must-win round for them.
Suddenly it's a much longer game. Again, G2 0 for 3 so far today. Would really like to take this win. I think we're already, FaZe now are 7 and 4, whereas G2 are 4 and 5. So I already don't think they can take many more losses than that, if even those. And Pico for FaZe. And G2 have invested quite heavily, but I think they like these buys.
The angle will be checked, but Rain still manages to get 2 kills out of it, and into the blender. Guardian completely blind there. Now with this Kevlar, there is opportunity for G2. G2 resetting the situation now with a minute on the clock. This, again, slowing things down. FaZe will have to defend 2 bomb sites. It is not the longest of rotations, so perhaps they can take some chances here. Exist, he might be looking through the tunnel towards Monster. Indeed he is. Obviously the door has its own sound cue, so if it is closed, he can focus on this position. And being on the high ground allows him to try to escape, maybe, or maybe not. Down he goes, 2 on 2. Throw flashes onto the B bomb site. Nico on the high ground, Carrigan on the low. Bomb being planted in the smoke. Nico just holding the left of the pillar, as the T sometimes do when they come in for the push. Oh, but NBK's backed that ass up and he's being taken out. That leaves Body with too much to do, unfortunately for him. Round number 6 for FaZe. An expensive round, but a successful one.
Close call indeed. G2 get the bomb plant, at least a few kills and damage. It's always funny, like at the end of these rounds, you think, like, oh, we should have won. But then you think, wow, that was actually a pretty successful round, even though we didn't actually win. There is going to be another save. The rebuys are going to make FaZe buy down to 0. They at least get all their M4s out. I think they probably should have thought about maybe investing in SMGs. At least a couple. Long road for the comeback. Might be a few resets involved.
Footsteps will be heard by Guardian, but missing that kill, it is time to back off as his positions have been compromised. Could play with his teammate and face a long position together, but G2 have not continued in that direction. Another eco run for G2 after the failed force buy. Investments have been made into pistols now. That's unfortunate. The bomb's been lost, but how likely was it to go down anyway? It's about the kills, I think, in this round for G2, and Guardian has been picked off. Rain awkwardly trying to reload around a tree. He has support though. Now the 1D. Oh boy, we've got big problems. The last 2 CTs defending the bomb sites. No armor, but rifles for both sides, and we see Nico, understanding that there was a fight for the bomb on long, has taken a lot of map control back, but how far can he go? If he exits connector and they were to move in, there'd be no eyes towards B, so he may feel stuck there.
Nico very well versed at lurking, no doubt, but still, with so little information, I should say, it is going to be kind of a guessing game. You can see how carefully he's been playing it, though.
Yeah, he's so far away from his teammates as well. So far away. There's a flash for Body to make his way in, and we've got Exist stuck around a truck, but he's good for both kills.
Nice.
And round number 7 for FaZe.
That's a big dub. Big dub for Exist. Took a lot of stress off Nico. Save the extra kill. It's going to do wonders for their economy. There's 3 players who get nade sets as opposed to 2 now. And G2 are only 4 rounds ahead.
Spreading through the playground. like a virus, like the plague. Have you ever had the plague?
I've never had the plague, no.
I had chickenpox once.
Is that a plague?
No, it's not the plague.
Everyone gets chickenpox.
It's just chickenpox.
James.
That's not true.
Most people do.
A lot of people do.
I got it during the 2001 Winter Olympics when I think it was 2001.
Were you competing?
Canada won. I was watching the hockey because I don't think you can compete when you're 11.
Well,
and I threw up on the bed.
If they can make a profit, they probably would let you play. 4-round lead for G2. Rain's been picked off. G2 got a good spread across the map, making sure there's no flanking, no dirty tactics from their opponent. Look at that boost though exist. He's a man mounted. And body has been taken out. G2 now moving into position to split the B bomb site. What preparations can FaZe make for this? A quick flash from Exist trying to get some information. And he may not be expecting of this push here. No grenades, but he will develop on these players. Oh, it is into the gallery once again. But the trades will happen and the B bomb site is clear. Apex to make a plant behind the smoke by the pillar. Makes sure trying to cut off the rotation of Guardian. Guardian on overpass, always dangerous. Bombs finally down. Apex out the smoke, into the crosshairs, out of the round.
It's happening, James. This is a real comeback. It seems like G2 are getting a bit shaky. That was really well played from Exist to do all that damage from headshot. First shots were through the wall, I think, and he got a think off of that. And then he finished another kill, and he was right there with Kerrigan. And instrumental, not instrumentable. That's not a thing.
He's been instrumental. Marvelous. And that's why you don't stand in choke points if you can help it. It is not to your advantage. I feel like a video must be made for the casuals, for Mirage Ramp, for example, why you don't hang around there when you're trying to engage people elsewhere. But enough about that. It is Overpass, and there is a push coming in. I don't know where that grenade went, but it didn't seem to do any damage to anybody apart from body. The T's swarming the site. Nico's dancing around the smoke. He was low health, now he's gone. Guardian with a very tight shot into Kenny S. And NBK will not allow you. Oh my god, Guardian. No time to talk. Apex left alone now. Rain and Carragher, the bomb's on the floor, but he's got time. Does not have position, no.
That was how you do it, man.
Guardian on Overpass.
That's how you see it in your mind's eye when you're going for that next peak, every single peak.
They are the yin and the yang.
And it just flows.
Beautiful.
No chance.
Guardian on Overpass is delicious. Give it to me. It is a chocolate gâteau.
Name a better duo.
He is the personification of a chocolate gâteau when he's playing on Overpass. That's all I can say. G2 once again attempting to play into the B bomb site. Maybe they will have some success with this. So far so good. Never mind that, it's turned around.
Uh-oh.
And now there are problems. They've got the man advantage, G2. They've got 2 smoke grenades. Rain's coming in from the back and Apex might be ready for him. Oh boy, this could be a very unlikely round. And they're still in the lead here, G2. What is the money situation? Oh, this is ropey.
Ropey. That's funny. I mean, they tried the exact same thing, exact same setup for FaZe. Counter nades were the same, but I think that the main advantage there for G2 was the fact that they had CZs. They had faster movement speed. Like you were just talking about creating space, right? And you can run faster with pistols.
Yes.
And run and shoot. So they could really just explode across the site quickly. And I think that they were particularly hard targets. We saw some issues from some of the FaZe guys there. Kerrigan, I don't know if it exists too, with tracking their opponents across the screen. A little bit harder when they can run a little faster.
Yeah, Glaive was talking about that in a post-match interview when he was in a clutch at Marseille, and he pulled out the pistol just so, I think it was Inferno dancing around New Box or something. He was less likely to be caught by his opponent because of the faster move speed, so it was food for thoughts, for sure, for sure. Ooh, a lovely boost. Was Guardian spotted? Maybe by Mixwell. Got out of there just in time. Now we see Kenny and NBK moving to do some damage towards the B-bomb sites. Did he see a smidgen of something? A smidgen of a pigeon. Not much to offer for these CTs. Guardian has an AWP on the high ground, and he's picked Kenny off. Always a nice frag to find. Whoa! I don't know if he hit his teammate there or not, but that's another kill for Guardian. 3 on 3 now. Guardian is alive. Guardian's on Overpass. Guardian is a problem. The bomb has to go down. Oh my! Just above the head. Gave him a side parting. But can he finish off the job? Nikos picks up an AK to taps again, and he almost favor Faze even before that kill. I don't think he saw the player rotate from the short B position, but sees body now. The re-peek is one too many, and now maybe they can stabilize. Just about goes down to the wire, showing the prowess, the danger of Faze, but the match is slipping away from them.
It seemed like FaZe were going to win that round, pull off the double save for G2, make the comeback a reality. But Body pulls off this really heads-up play where he flashes himself back from short to default just to catch Guardian off guard. Even there, I thought he was going to get killed. I thought he was going to get off right there. But after that, after him getting that kill, I mean, it totally changed things up. So maybe it's a hint of G2 just not playing as scared as might allow for a comeback. Like, I mean, if they are fierce and they are good, then they should kind of play how they normally do versus anybody. And I think if turtle up too much, that might not be their style.
Mag 7 on Overpass. Very curious to see how this is used, because if you are playing in Connector, for example, and you don't get any action and you have to rotate, then where you gonna go?
It's tough. If you have to have teammates go short if you're going to go stairs, so you have a way out, just for that reason exactly.
So it seems it will be the Connector position, but with nobody in Connector, how does Karrigan become effective? We will see later on. Guardian, he knows that he could be being baited, so he takes the opportunity to run away, but he won't make it so far. Apex taken out outside B, so maybe Karrigan gets a weapon from there, but again, no need to venture down here. Don't think you want to do that. 3 versus 4. FaZe have the man advantage, despite Guardian being dispatched. Rain moving into position behind Optimus. 3 players coming his way. That smoke may help him. There's a slight gap in there. Kenny not afraid to run straight through it. He has been a maniac today, and he will be taken out on that A site. Rain getting 2, leaving Mixwell on a 1 versus 2. And maybe Karrigan ironically finishes things off with a Mag 7 here, as we'll speak of the devil and he shall appear. The Mag 7 finishes off the round.
That's terrifying.
No upgrade though.
No, that still hurts. That still hurts pretty bad. They're gonna think about this buy for a second, because they could save. The temptation though is that FaZe are also kind of poor based on the buy that they just saw. But it looks like they're just gonna focus on winning the rifle round.
I wouldn't buy here. Do you know why?
Why?
Because I'm an economical mastermind, except when it comes to spending my own money.
Okay, so virtual money you should.
Absolutely.
So don't maybe just buy a bunch of virtual money with your money. Call it Bitcoin.
It's too late. It is too late. The ship has sailed. It's a mugs game now. It's a mugs game. Oh! 2 rounds between the 2 teams. Let's see what these players have to offer. NBK's he's a little short, 3,400 in the bank.
Are you the type of player, like, if you don't have a good start, then you just feel like you can't recover for the game?
No, apart from if I am late to a poker tournament and I'm not sat down on the first hand, that used to tilt me very strangely. But I think I've grown out of that now, so no. The only thing that tilts me is when my teammates do incredibly stupid things, which happens almost every round, unfortunately. 13 to 11, NBK on the CZ, but Mixwell has maybe dropped a gun for him just there. Look at these openings on the B bomb site. What do they do, FaZe? Their options have been taken away.
Bomb has been planted.
Rain and Karrigan running for dear life. some reason it was that scene. So this is a bit grim. The scenario reminded me of, just made me imagine people trying to get away from adverse weather conditions. And once in London, in Hyde Park, there were these 2 Japanese tourists, and it was raining and there was lightning, and they took refuge under a tree, and the tree got hit by lightning and killed them. Pretty crazy.
The odds of that happening are very low.
I know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. Well,
That
it's
is
quite
sad.
sad, but there we go. There we go.
Well, now I'm in a bad mood. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Round number 14 in the bag for G2.
Well, they've recovered. They did it with a B hit again. It's another strong, fast, all-out monster rush. Showing FaZe how it's done properly, I suppose. I say that just because it didn't seem like it was any more complicated. But some teams are just weaker to it. Either because their innate timings are a little weird, they don't feel comfortable peeking those angles, or the other team has really great pop flashes. Even though they're super hard to throw. I kind of wish the wall above Monster was lower, so there was just more freedom. Because when you throw a Molotov, like a running Molotov for headshot, or a flash over, it has to be so specific or it will just bounce back at you very easily.
See the short. We can see the shortcomings in Faze's buy. Guardian's gone from an AWP to a scout. Carrigan's still rocking the Mag 7, but this time with no Kevlar. He is Mag 7 and naked. He's in a nude. He's a nudist.
He's naked and he's got a gun.
He's in his birthday suit. G2, they recognize, they understand their advantages.
Was that the smoke? Maybe they threw that.
I mean, normally that goes in the entrance to the bathrooms.
Yeah.
Under the WC sign, so you can only assume it's supposed to go there. Definitely one for review. If you miss it by that margin, then something is terribly wrong. Carrigan flying out of the Mag 7 of the door, but unable to do anything. And this may be the second last round of this game because it doesn't look good for FaZe. Again, the A players forced to run away once more.
Suddenly, the whole team's discombobulated, James. They're all over the place.
They are indeed. I use that same M4 as Rain now. I couldn't find myself after selling my Howl, but with all my red stuff on the CT side, the radiation hazard seemed most appropriate.
It's kind of close to the Howl. It's got that
it's
like,
close enough.
Grungy look. Do you use a souvenir one?
No. No, the reason I sold the Howl is because of its value, so I wouldn't want to buy a souvenir one. Got mine on the cheap. Pistols for FaZe in what could be the last round of the European segment of our show today.
It should be, if everything goes right. There's no reason that G2 should lose a round like this. It's kind of alarming for FaZe that they really didn't. I mean, they had performed kind of a comeback here. They did win a pistol in the second half, but this was an 11-4 half to begin with. So it got scary enough for G2. They'll have enough of that. But again, this is FaZe's strong side on this map.
Anti-eco territory, the long A position, trying to use the range as much as possible. No noise but the scope, and I think Rain may have heard that scope. I don't know. The shadow will compromise Body's position, but the overall goal, the overarching goal, may still be achieved. Where do they plant the bomb for now? There is an AK down around toilet, so they can't plant it for there. They will have to clear out, or do they make their way all the way down to B? That would be very curious indeed. NBK though, he has the bomb and he's still up here on the A site alone, which is interesting.
Oh my god, they're getting really far away from NBK.
Trying to figure out where these CTs are. They'll have to assume that they've been in motion as a TSA. Have a lovely 180 from Mixwell. An international special on the French side. NBK knows where two of the last three players are now. And there we are. Down to Nico with the Deagle. 1 versus 3. He has the kit at the very least. He's got to go. No other choice. Okay, okay, Nico. Oh, that was so close. But not to be on this occasion. 16-11 in favor of G2. They get a win today.
Easy Katka. They make it happen. Versus Faze on Overpass, which is and will be a feat for a long time, no matter what. So, well done. They look strong.
Yeah, I think it was important for the G2 psyche that they got something out of this day after going 0-4-3, multiple overtimes as well. Some close calls, but they will take Overpass, and I'm sure it will continue to be Nico's most hated map.
I was just going to say, I'm curious how this will shape up the scoreboard, because as you say, only one map for G2 is definitely a pretty sore position, but it's maps that they've lost against Faze and Astralis, teams that are going to be in that top 4 anyway, so I'm really curious how this is going to impact the overall standings, I gotta say.
Yes, that is a good point, that it's not as bad as God.
I was going to say, I feel like they could beat anybody else today. They look really good, honestly.
Yeah, so you could argue that these are the best teams for G2 to go 1-2-3 against. Or actually, no, I couldn't say that, because if they beat them, they'd probably be better to compete later on. So we'll soon see what this means for the leaderboard. And there it is, Astralis 15-1. They've only got 2 games to go, and G2 5-5, 5-5. Janet Jackson in the middle of the table. They most certainly have opportunity ahead of them. They've just gone over the mark of half their game, so there is a lot to play for. You see NIP hot on their heels, same points, and they've only got 1 game over them, G2. So lots to play for in the middle of that table and to the lower half of those top 4. So we'll see how that progresses. We are going to head to a break in about 10 minutes. We have the North American show coming up for you, so stay tuned, don't go anywhere. We will be back very shortly indeed.